Alright, today we're going to go over some more in-depth details about how to train your back. So the first thing I'm going to say is that we need typically three types of back movement. This is not including the rear delts, just the lat training and the trap training. We need three types. We've got the vertical, so a lat pull down variation of sorts, and a horizontal pull, some kind of row where you're pulling into your chest, and then some sort of stretch, like a pullover or a straight arm push down. So in this video, I'm going to go over a couple different versions of each one, just so you can kind of get a good idea of how each category should look across a couple different variations. The main thing that I want to get into is the full range of motion training and the spinal flexion training. So every movement that you'll see me do, you'll also see me incorporate a little bit of T-spine flexion and shoulder rotation. This is completely intentional, and this is how I would like you to train when you do back accessories. Typically in bodybuilding or in any sort of developmental type training, we want a full range of motion and a shortened range of motion. In the case of upper back training, our shortened ranges of motion are taken care of through our compound movements such as squats, deadlifts, and pressing. We don't want to be shortening our back movements, our back isolation movements, because it will eventually accumulate us into restricted mobility in our shoulders, and that can result in restricted mobility in our T-spine, lumbar spine, and hips, and their entire sequence and function. So that's kind of the main takeaway that I want from this video. The next big takeaway is kind of how to mix up the different variations. I think it's pretty obvious and important to be a very varied athlete and to change up your variations a lot, especially when it comes to stuff like this, where we're essentially using back training to help us decompress and strengthen our posture and help us kind of undo some of the damage that we've done through the week, while also building, right? So I think it's important to change the variations each time. I would say, to simplify it, pick three variations in each category and rotate them in whatever way is most fun, whether it's switching it every week or doing 3 or 4 weeks in a row and then switching it. But the other main important thing is, if you're doing a wide grip horizontal row, maybe do a narrow grip vertical row, and vice versa. And just kind of play around with all the different variations and hand positions, and just make sure you're thoroughly hitting those three categories to full range of motion at least once a week. I think that should cover it for this video.